Welcome aboard the SCS Didactor, a dreadnought class ship lost in another universe and currently trying to fight gravitational waves emitted by a neutron star. Our mission today is to collect strange quarks from the said neutron star so that we can find a way to close the wormhole home permanently. The Devout hijacked a Talonian chariot, which is one of the big remnant ships, and they're currently using it to open the wormhole home. We know that they are preparing for a mass conversion event, and that can only mean they plan to invade our universe. So, our Commodore is going to take the risk and close the wormhole behind us permanently, seeking to stay behind. Sounds pretty ominous. As we try and fight these very strong gravitational waves to get close enough to the strange quark to collect it. But they fade out very quickly. So it's like trying to swim out into the ocean through rough surf. And that's not even a neutron star, that's the planet. A neutron planet. As soon as you face away from it, it just pushes you right out. A collapsar. I've personally never heard of that before. I have heard of neutron stars, but I'm not sure if there is a distinction or a difference. Let's study the planet. No anomalies on this blackened world. Trying to get close enough to see it. There it is. The star is a hollow shell of neutron matter, periodically falling into a quark matter core, releasing an anti-gravity wave. Some of the quark matter is quantum tunneled to the surface and ejected. Interesting. And how many do we need? We need 6 in total. The ship is not liking these gravitational waves. It's taking damage. Strangelet collected. We have an enemy warship trying to engage us. Good luck getting close. That is probably another stalker. Alright, we have enough. It's time to get out of here. Back home, Milton, here is your strange matter. Excellent work as always. We're making preparations to evacuate most of the remaining crew to the Alethea. I will remain behind, and Lieutenant Milton and some of his senior staff to ensure the closure of the wormhole happens as soon as Alethea is through. But I don't intend to go down with the ship. Once it's closed, we will inhabit another world. We volunteered to stay behind, but he says no. Dr. Rama will be transferring aboard Venerator. Final orders are to get to Merope station on the other side ASAP. And we've been promoted to captain. So we're going home, but it's not the way I thought it was going to happen. We're going to have the Devout hot on our heels, I think. I'm not exactly sure how we are going to close the wormhole. We have some device that's going to overload it or something. But we're here, I guess we go through. There's no sign of the Devout. We're going home. And we've arrived exactly where we left off. We even have that debris cloud. Our very first mission just to our southeast. Let's go down and check out the cargo hauler before we head off to Merope station. We were just a tiny little ship when we arrived here, struggling to hit even one barrel. But never let it be said that our crew leave quests unattended, unfinished. There we go. Mission complete. Let's go and talk to this Corvette. It's quite a long way to get to Merope. There was a flinger that Starcom had apparently built, but it is non-functioning. And I believe I remember them saying that Starcom had issues with disintegration if you tried to use it. It was a long flight, but we are now here. In Merope's lab, transferring my research data to their systems. There is something I need to urgently investigate. Don't disturb me. We're training out 3 of our Mark II engines, and we're going to put a Mark III in the center. That's all we have space for. But I think we will keep the gravity beam. Let's talk to the commander here. Great comments. We thought you were trapped on the other side of the wormhole with Solano. When I saw your ship's signature on the scanners, I was like, what? So we're going to give her the long version of our story. Dr. Rama was correct. So the Emir were hired to protect what later turned out to be a heretic structure? Oh, so this polyhedral artifact sounds incredible. Oh, and how is Captain Dawson? We're really going into detail. We've spent 6 hours debriefing the commander of Merope Station. That is certainly a dramatic update. Now I imagine you have some questions for me, but first I think I should bring you up to speed on our side. Yeah, we did waste a fair bit of time. We lost contact with Maya around the time of your disappearance. Subsequently, a black battle cruiser materialized on our doorstep and its commander confessed to its destruction. They presented a plausible explanation for the attack, although with the wormhole collapsed we had no way to verify anything they said. But they have been sharing a great deal of powerful technology with us. Wait, so the ship that destroyed our battle station at the start of the entire game confessed and are now sharing tech. This sounds very devout-like. They're like, oh, sorry, here, would you like some conversion? We're going to go and talk to them. Surely not. We know it's a devout ship because we fought them the whole game. And we know that the devout have a unique way of subsuming empires into their mass, their fold. It definitely looks like the devout warpers we were fighting just now. Let's talk to the battlecruiser here. You may outrank me. His ship is much larger than ours. I want a battlecruiser. Greetings, Commander Chadicus. Admiral Erdani has informed us you have some questions. Wait, this guy's a Goryeo. These guys were helping us. Ah, so you know us as the Gora. That much is expected. The answer is both yes and no. First, before we are accused of additional deceptions, let me state that despite the dramatic changes in your ship, I recognize your vessel's systems beacon as the one that passed through the wormhole when we emerged. We had no contact with our counterparts in our own universe, but it is likely that they have had contact with you. We are the former academics of the Fallen Empire, now branded heretics by our enemies, the Devout. I do not know much of our history, how much of our history you've learned, but the Devout are a dangerous plague that for centuries corrupted the last fragments of the Empire. Recently they have metastasized and threatened to devour the remainder of our universe. Having failed all attempts to stop their expansion, we discovered they had been trying to find an ancient quantum wormhole left by the remnants. This is one of their advanced prototype vessels that they have constructed using remnant tech. Fortunately, the first officer of the vessel was myself, a heretic agent placed years ago. I facilitated a mutiny while on maneuvers near one of our outposts. Having detected the signature wormhole opening, we decided to traverse it with this ship before the Devout learned it had been lost. When we arrived in space, we detected that the stabilizers Starcom were using are a design similar to Devout Whispers. I took this as confirmation that the Devout had already gained a foothold here and made the decision to destroy the base. Once the wormhole was closed, we were able to take our time and monitor the activity of Starcom. Eventually, I became convinced that the decision was in error. The only course of action was to contact your forces and warn them of the danger approaching. You would have to ask them why they didn't tell you about us. But in our universe, we have learned a hard, painful lesson, to be untrusting and careful with the truth. The Devout were searching for a quantum wormhole, calling out for it to reveal itself with their remnant secrets. When one appeared, we were cautious to approach those that emerged. Trust cannot be won by argument, only by proof of action over longer periods. We have provided Starcom all the technology we have to help against what is about to come through that wormhole. It is our hope that we both live long enough for us to make reparations for our mistakes. Yeah, Cygnus Lee states that is an interesting narrative, but it is entirely plausible. We didn't know who the heretics were. We had just assumed that they were the same race as the Devout, but the Fallen Empire was a collection of different species, and so that does make a lot of sense. Let's talk to Rear Admiral Adani. I'm eager to hear the results of your interview with the heretics, but our perimeter ships have detected bad guys coming. Dr. Rama has made a discovery that she claims will destroy our universe. I've known Rama since she was upcoming in the research division. I'm sure you've noticed that she's not prone to hyperbole. Take all our resources and get her back to the other universe. We need to get back to Solano to stop them from severing the wormhole. There may be time for a more detailed explanation later, but you must trust me. Using the device would be catastrophic to life in this universe. Please. Alright, let's go. She actually used manners. It must be serious. I just removed the gravity beam and we plugged up the gap with some armor. Now we need to get back to the wormhole. The Devout are here already. And the little Starcom frigates are getting obliterated. Just have to ram our way through. We outrun the Devout now, so I'm not worried that they'll catch us. Alright, coming into Palladium. They're sending out a general distress signal. It sounds like the Devout aren't trying to use soft persuasion. They are irradiating the populace. We're just going to provide fire support as we make our way through. Cygnus Lee's transmitting the details of research on the radiation. At least they won't be helpless. Arriving at the wormhole, it's reopening. Starcom corvettes are holding the line. The wormhole is expanding slowly. We should be able to pass through soon. Perks will let us know when the reading stabilizes. Starcom pilot's orders are to give us cover as we get through the wormhole. We have a Devout battlecruiser. Just chewing the front end of the ship off. Trying to find that squishy reactor. There we go. Good stuff. Our Dreadnought is like 10 Starcom ships. Yep, we're trying to get through. Watch out, battlecruiser. And we have to go back. Our return trip home was short-lived. but we need to keep this wormhole open for whatever reason. Dr. Rama is transmitting an emergency message to tell them not to blow the wormhole. There's quite a large allied fleet up ahead. Our missing vessel reported in using the encoder you delivered. During the battle with the Devout, they were able to capture an EMP warhead that failed to arm. We will share its analysis with you. It may prove quite useful in defending against it. The Devout are deploying even more powerful ships. At this rate, Starcom will be overrun. We've got lots of friends here. We have the 2nd Legion Emir here. The Gora have a massive ship with us. Point defense systems working to maximum. And the light show above the planet is quite spectacular. Green, blue, red lasers streaking across the void. Dr. Rama. After Venerator returned from the primordial universe, I have been trying to reconcile the data collected with our previous measurements and have reached a conclusion. The polyhedra didn't open a wormhole to the primordial universe, it actually created the primordial universe. The wormhole was kind of a tether, allowing information and matter to flow between and keep it stable. Because the primordial universe's potential energy is above the true vacuum for its fundamental physics. I compared the data from the wormhole to our own universe and got the same results. Permanently closing the wormhole would cause a false vacuum decay of the child universe, which at this point all signs point to being ours. This explains why the quantum wormhole is so stable. It was designed to be. I cannot begin to speculate as to the how or why, but the conclusion seems inescapable. Severing the wormhole would destroy our home universe. Wow. So, it's like Inception. Universes all the way down. Captain Dolson thinks the Devout still do not have total control over the chariot, but even so, they are continuously upgrading their ships with the capabilities. Extrapolating from what we've seen, within a week, they'll be able to produce a single ship that could wipe out Starcom's entire fleet. Now that the CIE device is off the table, I want to hear some opinions, or options. I think the Talonians are the key. Yes, because they control the chariots. We just don't know if any Talonians still exist. So we're going to ask the Gora. We're going to ask the Goria, or however you say their name. We see that you've returned from beyond the wormhole. Have you learned much? Well, we learned that you're responsible for blowing up our star base. Thank you very much. If you learned from this black ship, as you call it, then it's true. We did not know what transpired after it passed through the wormhole. We were still uncertain if you were devout puppets, so we kept our secrets and waited. We don't trust you, sorry. It's unfortunate, but we could not take the risk to tell you. We are truly sorry for the destruction of your ship. Like all people, we put our own goals before yours, as have you. Our ships followed you to the strange pulsing star. We have deduced that its expulsions could be used to create a device to suture the wormhole. Is it your intention to do so after your forces have retreated and leave us to face the Devout alone? Our goal is to stop the Devout. And would severing the wormhole not stop them from doing so? As the impetus is on us to regain your trust and keep you in the fight against the Devout, what we can offer as evidence. Well, you can tell us where the Talonians are. As you may have learned, the Talonians were all dismantled or destroyed before the collapse of the Empire. While fragments remain, the core constructs are gone from this universe. In our search for Arkadian artifacts, we did find a lead. Our researchers have studied the singularity and devised a way to modify our ships to travel through unscathed. That's where we believe the Talonian is, so we have to go back to the black hole. Our space cat friends, the Nemoan, even showed up, bringing one of their battle cruisers, and we've scratched the paint. And now they're opening up on our allies. Let's leave before something big kicks off. The space cats do like to fight. So we are headed back to this unusual black hole. It nearly killed us before, but apparently now we can just sail straight into it. Let's see how that goes. Sure enough. Uh-oh. We have wreckage, and we have the same effect that we had near the pulsating neutron star. We are being pushed around like a little wooden boat on rough seas. What have we got here? Generation. This is, oh, the generation ship. Okay. So there was a generation ship that was destroyed when its passengers decided they didn't want to go wherever they were being taken. And we found the fragments of it. Is this the other half? Still stuck in the warp? Is that where we are, the warp? Yep, still fragments, just like in real space. This is becoming quite the mystery. I guess we just follow the trail of debris until we find whatever is at the end. I think these distortion eddies are not a natural feature of this space. They may have been created when the unstable cores ruptured. A drone analyzing anomaly. Analysis complete. Recoverable materials are titanium, gold, platinum, neutronium, etherium, and various high-quality biologics. Uh-oh. They're going to harvest us. What is it? Just a little Guardian Scout. We're using nukes. Our space cat friends gave us nuclear weapons. Whoa, that is a very big starbase. And it looks like an intact generation ship. That could be the lost one. There were two of them. One was destroyed, one was lost. Interesting design that keeps it safe as it rotates. It seems to be repairing itself. Yeah, just rotate around with it so you can focus on the same area. Now, missiles have a lot of punch, but they cost uranium to fire. It's a random planet on the warp and there's no anomalies. I highly doubt that. Let's have a look at this generation ship. The Generations vessel's interior is divided into multiple distinct biomes, each massive and capable of supporting countless life forms, possibly billions. Different segments, rotational velocities create a range of gravities. At the point the surveyor enters the environment is subtropical, but scans show distant areas with nearly as much variety as the worlds of this universe. So it's literally like Noah's Ark. Equally impressive is the vast machinery concealed between the interior surface and the structure's outer walls. Several kilometers deep, it is clear that only a fraction are related to maintenance of the vessel. At the end of the great spindle, at the center of the ark, the team finds a central chamber overlooking the vast expanse outside. Within is an inert husk of an enormous brass automaton. Many of its components seem to have been carefully removed, save for a central processing unit in the head. The darkened automaton energizes as we connect one of the pieces. Your request is granted. I will provide you with a set of algorithms that, if transmitted to the chariot, will neutralize the recent technologies the Devout have gained from its control. How do you even know what our request is? After you reconnected my missing component, I perceived you and your vessel. I acquired the data in its systems, and the nature of your request was obvious. I am aware, but the situation is urgent. While the Devout will not gain control of the chariot, it will enter your universe once the wormhole is fully stabilized. I am transmitting my core chariot access protocol directly to your ship. Okay. So we just turned on a talonian with a brass object that we had been collecting, and we still have more of them. But the pressing matter is to stop the Devout from controlling the chariot and getting it through to our universe. It would be the single most powerful thing in our universe. This is a white hole, and it looks like it links back to our space, where we entered. We're back. After a meeting with an ancient, I believe they're AI, like super duper AI. So I am assuming we just have to board the chariot now. Please, your chariot awaits. Alright, beginning a transmission now to override the Devout control. Enemy ships warping in. Let's disperse them. Enemy station warping in. Havoc launchers just decimating it. Hit them with a few nukes as well. Oh, we've just had another one warp in behind us. I think I'm better off just surgically removing their power. Where's all the help, guys? Alright, Cygnus Lee is increasing our defense against their weapons after analyzing their newest upgrades. Holy shit, that's a big one. That's a big boy. Give it a few nukes. Not even a scratch. Oh, this thing's self-repairing as well. Blow off the nose, it's got no warp now. We need to get those wings off the side. They are repairing the ship. But it's got nothing that can get through our armor. I build a solid ship. Alright, one more transmission apparently. Okay, adjusting our weapons to do more damage against the devout. It's been hordes of little guys for the end. Is that it? Peace falls upon the galaxy once more. No, we have another wave. We had another wave. I'm not sure if that big bad ship was supposed to last longer, because all we've had is waves of little guys for the next 2 minutes. The Devout's hold on the chariot system was surprisingly tenacious, but I have exercised them and can now control it completely from here within the Ark. Their new fleets were dependent on my chariot for strength, and are now being sucked of their strength. I must conserve energy for my remaining tasks. Soon I will let this wormhole return to its stable quantum state. This will keep it safe. Can we stay here? Yeah, it's alright, he's giving us time. I will keep the wormhole open until you've passed through for the final time, and then I will attend my final task. I am now but a fraction of what aided the Empire and its academics. My mind then, the mind of all talonians in space, connected instantly in thought through what you call warp space. But now my mind and memories have been splintered away. I had to sacrifice much of myself to preserve the Ark. What was once can never be whole again. But we've got 4 fragments. Neural meta connections restored. Thank you. With the 5 fragments you've recovered, I have better sense of myself. What are you? I have no memory of creation. The temporal order of my early memories is disjointed. I was likely created as an interface to the remnant artifacts, as their workings are far too complex for any naturally evolved brain to comprehend. By whom I cannot say. At one point my mind was distributed across a dozen physical entities, all coordinated as one. For all my remembered existence, I have only been this. The academics of the Empire wished to learn what became of the remnants who created the great artifacts. I did not have the answers to their questions, but the remnants were capable of creating new universes, as well as great artifacts capable of sustaining, nurturing, and transporting civilizations to them. The academics tried to retrace their path with the lance, the chariots, and the generation arcs. To do so, they needed to deplete a star that warmed 2 young civilizations. So they transported them into the ARKS and swallowed their sun. But these Arkadians were afraid of their fate, of course. The academics saw themselves as good and did their best to explain what was happening. Finally, the experiment was ready and the lance created a wormhole. I do not know precisely what happened, but I believe the academics underestimated their Arkadian charges. The Arkadians learned quickly, and some did not want to be part of this great experiment. Some of them attempted to close the wormhole. And that was the destruction of that Ark we found. I have no direct knowledge, only what I can extrapolate from your logs. They clearly did not receive the aid they needed to repair the wormhole. They founded a settlement not far from the singularity. Some remained there, and over time they forgot their history. Others continued in their mission to rescue their trapped ancestors, but found no allies in either the heretics or devout, identifying themselves to other Arkadians through simple binary code. They were given warp space sensors, which is critical for my final task. What's the final task? The generation arc became trapped in unstable space. Remnant artifacts are nearly indestructible, but not forever, nor against such entropy. A chariot was capable of navigating back to this universe, but not transporting a civilization. I sent some Arkadians back through a white hole to restore the wormhole, while I remained to protect the vessel. When the unstable wormhole is restored, I will deliver the Arkadians to the universe that lies beyond. Is there anything else you wish to discuss? What does it do? My warp space sensor could be used along with the processing power of a polyhedral to repair the wormhole's geometry. While the physics of the operation defy comprehension, the actual mechanics should have been simple with the aid of the Empire and my remaining selves. Does that mean we have to find another polyhedral? The one that we used initially disappeared, and in its place was a wormhole. I do not know what happened, but it seems likely that the Generation Ark catastrophe was the tipping point. The Empire was falling, and it was the final straw. I guess we've got a choice now. We could just go straight through the wormhole and finish the game. Or we could try and solve the mystery of the Talonians and the Arkadian. We gave him 5 parts of his self. Maybe there are more to find. Once the wormhole reached full aperture, we've been able to communicate with Starcom. The Devout did a lot of damage on the other side, but thanks to Venerator, it's now just a mop-up and repair operation. We've monitored your interactions with the Talonian. Starcom HQ is scrambling to figure out next steps. They want you to report to the new research facility at Groombridge. I think they're worried about causing a panic around vacuum decay. Off the record, you have a lot of leverage with your next career moves. The Talonian will hold the wormhole open for one-way traffic for a while, but when you're ready you can say any goodbyes here and open a channel. Officially, I'm supposed to send you back as soon as possible, but you can stay if you want. We have We're going to tell him we're going home, but we're just not going to go home. With the help of the heretics, Starcom has opened up its first flinger. Your crew has earned a break. Starcom hasn't given any official directives, and the Aletheia will be taking a lot of Solano's staff back. But some of us have decided that even if the wormhole closes for good, there's still a mission for Starcom here. I think this time really is goodbye. It's been an honor to serve as your commander. I'm writing an incandescent post-action, and if we ever meet again, I expect to call you Sir. Well, thank you, sir. Your faith in us was inspirational. A little while ago, we found a stone map that had a diamond constellation on it. While searching the diamond constellation, we found a lot of Arkadian planets. One of the planets had this binary list. I don't know whether they're names or places or identification for the different factions of Arkadians that we've discovered. They were the Stalkers, the guys that talk in 11111s and zeros. The broken god, I think, is the chariot, because the Arkadians did see the Talonians as gods. There are a couple of systems on the stone map that we haven't yet explored. So there was the main Flinger constellation that looks like a diamond, and then there were a few points off to the east and west of the constellation itself. So we're going to explore out there and see if we can't find more Arkadian ruins. So we struck gold. We found one system out here. Interesting looking frozen ice planet. Strange tower rises out of a snowy crevasse as the wind howls around the team. The structure has all the hallmarks of remnant tech and is just as inscrutable. Near its base is an attachment that seems out of place. A simple device clearly added by a civilization more on par with our own. It has a label that translates as Watchtower, and a display that reads binary. So let's try one of those coordinates we have in that list of binary codes and see what happens. I typed the coordinate in wrong and we have to wait. We had to wait 10 minutes. So let's try again, before actually looking at it first. We got a brief reading this time. But what does that mean? The emissary flew in. I don't know if that's coincidence, because he's pretty helpful getting us around the galaxy. He brought us somewhere. Regard. I still don't know if that was coincidence or not. I typed in the Broken God address and it brought us to the Broken Chariot. It's confirmed. New reliquary is corrupted, so I think we have to infer the data here. What comes after 1 in binary? So we are trying to guess the address for the new reliquary. I think it is 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, transmit. This is my guess, because the next number in the sequence is 0, 1. It summoned the emissary. The previous number also summoned the emissary. This is our third attempt now. New reliquary took us to a weird system. This one I was expecting to be the ring world. Yeah. Based on the description in the log. We didn't have any luck searching the Arkadian ruins. I didn't find anything. So I typed in polyhedral, 8-side, 8, all different words to describe the shape into my log, and it referred to this gas giant. And right at the start of the game, these guys were like, in the shadow of the burning moon, in the shadow of the burning moon, and I had no idea what they were talking about. But now I have a feeling that, because in the log they were talking about an 8-sided thing, and someone being angry at them for not knowing where it was, and they tried to tell him. Have a look here. Burning moon. To the shadow of the burning moon. This one here. Deep in the shadows of the burning moon. Again the trader asked. Again they said, deep in the shadow of the burning moon. Very deep. In anger, the trader brings the sun too close, and all burn but us. So someone got angry at them for not explaining where this 8 eyes of 8 faces was to a trader. So I think they were referring to a polyhedral artifact. But if we fly into the shadow of this burning moon, we will end up at the broken god. So let's do it the slow way. Let's see if there's anything between here and there. I hope it's not referring to the broken god. That would be very disappointing to me. Oh wait, it's here. It's very close too. And this one's active. Very different energy from the one we activated previously. I think we found it. But how do we use it to repair the wormhole? We discovered another polygonal artifact. If you've seen one massive alien artifact emitting novel high energy particles, you've seen them all. Okay, we're just going through the rest of our log, because surely some of these quests will lead to something. We have a lost transporter that that had reference to the half chariot, which is, I think, the broken god. So we are going to fly out to the half chariot. We have to take the heretic portal. We've just put 2 more Mark III engines on the back of the ship just to get around a bit quicker. And a few extra weapons. Alright, so here is the broken chariot. There are 2 of these in the universe, and we have checked the other one. There was nothing there. Lots of precious metals. We don't need them, but it's still good to keep your gunnery skills up. Let's just look around. We are looking for a derelict vessel. Oh, we've got a reading on the transponder. We're about 2,500 astronomical units away from the target. We must be on top of it now. We are. We found it. Derelict. The CXTA derelict shows no sign of combat damage, but the missing rear third shows something obviously went wrong. There's a small amount of salvage in the ship's intact system, and we found a talonian fragment. What? Based on the vessel's logs, they experienced several reactor poisonings and were very casual about maintenance. So we just found a random talonian fragment in one of the earliest missions that I was given. But I didn't care for it because I just thought it was a side mission. Oh, we better go and connect that to old buddy. I've been playing detective for a couple of hours now, and I've been turning recording on and off, and unfortunately I didn't record our conversation when I gave him the extra fragment, but he gave me a way to communicate with the stalkers. So instead of seeing binary now, I can talk to them, which I think is great. Now I've got 4 factions of them that I know that I can now communicate with them. I just got to find them and see what they say. We're going to be able to turn the ones into meaningful words. One of the addresses that I visited was the new reliquary. We just guessed, okay? And there was a base here. And he just had random 1s and 0s. The other factions haven't been communicating with me, so I'm hoping this guy will. Oh no. Oh wait, transmit the Talonian's name. You have spoken the name of the Bronze One, the divine caretaker who watches over our sleeping ancestors. How do you know this? It was given to us by the Talonian. She has awoken? We have waited 10 generations to hear her voice. What message does she have? It is time for the Ark to enter the new universe. We need the Talonian's eye. It's been so long we'd abandoned hope. I apologize that we attacked you when we first met. So many have tried to take away the eye. Thank you, Chaticus of Venerator. In recognition of your momentous occasion, we shall give you the honorary title of 101111101100000001 dash. The Talonian Eye is a warp space sensor that can help us fix the polyhedral artifact. So we are headed back there now. Investigating, a hidden portal in the polyhedral artifact opens as the team approaches. Like the first, the interior is a dizzying, distorted space that turns in on itself until the team arrives at its core. The team look for the Talonian Eye for any change, only to discover it has already vanished. The Tesseract shapes begin to shift and they find themselves back in the lander. Whatever it was doing before, it stopped. We're just coming back to rub it in Dr. Rama's face. We got a Talonian Eye from a secret Arkadian sect and we used it to repair a wormhole to another universe. How do you like that? I assume you want another reprieve from my condescension? Granted. I implore Commodore Yu that he should allow me to commandeer the Venerator or Alethea to investigate this wormhole. Unfortunately, my request was denied. I have apparently been requisitioned by the new lab at Groombridge to bring their AI research lab up to speed. An interesting project. Alright, well it's been nice to know you. We are putting on the warp generator. Brand new warp engine. We're going to need it where we're going. I don't know if we're going to need eyes because we are about to go into the warp. The Didactor Dreadnought has become the pinnacle of human engineering. We are about to test our first jump with the warp engine. And it was a success. Second test, max range 1445 astronomical units. Very cool. You have delivered the warp space sensor to the polyhedral. This has allowed me to restore the wormhole within unstable space. When the Arkadians awake, I will make sure they know Venerator saved them. My last task is almost complete, but it requires this chariot. If you wish to pass through the wormhole, do so soon. Is there anything else you wish to discuss? We've made our decision as a crew. We aren't going home. It seems like there's going to be some kind of cover-up of all this. And I don't want any part of that. So we are going to go and explore the black hole and we're going to see off the Ark at least. We'll see if the Ark is still here, and if not, we can just go back through the white hole and go home. But I want to see if we had any effect. I want to see if we had any effect on the state of this place. Let's head up. Still a raging storm here in the warp. The walls are starting to grow tentacles. It's gone. They went through. The generation arc is gone. Looks like the Talonian was able to send it through to wherever. Sensors show that the white hole no longer loops back to the universe we just left. I guess we're not going home. Oh god. Well, it's been nice knowing you guys. And that is the end. Starcom Unknown Space. It looks like we unlocked the secret ending. And we are going to go with our Arkadian friends to their new universe. That was a great game. I spent somewhere around 30 hours playing that. A nice mix between shipbuilding, exploration, storytelling, combat. It had multiple ways to solve the puzzles and solve the quests, complete the quests. The highlight was probably taking on the guys of the Trade Guild and sneaking into that really powerful Empire space. That would be the highlight for me. Let me know down below what your favorite part was. I'm Commander Tyrael. This was Starcom Unknown Space. If you enjoyed the content, hit subscribe, hit the like button, and I will see you in the next playthrough. Let me know what you would like to see me play. Until then, take care.